Alright, I just finished watching this movie and I had to tell you about it. I had to get this shit off my chest. Like, look at this cover. That shit looks stupid as hell. Spoiler alert, I'm about to hate on this shit OD. Honestly, it's one of those movies that's so bad, you kind of love it. It's like watching one of them Steven Seagal movies where it's so bad, but it's funny as hell to watch. The only difference being that, you know, at least in this one, Jason can actually fight.
Now presenting Steven Seagal
And a monkey man. Okay. So Beekeeper is about Jason Statham, who's hanging out with this sweet old black lady who I think might have called him sweetie when he was young, so he got really attached.
Baby, hold on 1 second. We're gonna get you a fruit. Hold on.
She was the only person who ever took care of me.
So now he hangs out with her and pays rent in order to use her back house to keep some bees. But here's the twist. He's not actually a beekeeper. He's a beekeeper.
Beekeepers is a special program outside the chain of command.
Honestly, it feels like they ripped off of John Wick a bit. Like you have a retired badass who finally finds love and wants to live an easy life, but then out of nowhere, it's all ripped away from him. So he decides to go apeshit.
Oh, what the fuck, bro? Don't move.
It even has that fuckhead son that causes all this shit to go down and tons of mention of beekeepers throughout. But they all get mad scared every time they hear beekeeper. Like, oh yeah, it's some serious shit.
Beekeeper? Well, that's not good.
And if I'm not getting my point across, this man was going fucking wild.
Buddy, I'm counting to 3.
1, 2, 3.
Pew, 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 pew!
Will you stomp his ass out?
30 people with guns, light work. Group of elite ex-military murderers, washed. So why did this man come out of retirement? Because that sweet old black lady I talked about earlier got scammed in the most old-fashioned way possible.
I just got a message saying that there's a problem with my computer.
Yes, ma'am, we got this.
Let's be real. You expect to see some kind of call center, but instead we see this flashy-ass futuristic office filled with what looks like a bunch of greasy used car salesmen. So when that sweet old lady gets scammed out of millions, she unfortunately decides to unalive herself, causing the rest of the movie to become a documentary about the pitfalls of scamming old people. If you do, a beekeeper will come, fuck your shit up.
We have laws for these things.
Until they fail, then you have me.
An FBI agent shows up at this sweet old lady's house and turns out she's her daughter. Bam! Another twist. There was some corny shit to be said. Probably my favorite one is when this random Australian dude is about to kill Jason, has him on his knees, everything's ready, and then he goes, to be or not to be. Jason looks up at him and he's like, to be. And then goes ape shit on everybody. Bah! Bah! Eventually, after killing thousands of people, Jason figures out who's at the very top, which honestly, it was a surprise for me. Did not see that coming. Bam! Another twist. I won't ruin it, but let's just say I can see how this might be based on true events. Jason, of course, at the end, ends up fighting one dude that can actually go toe-to-toe with him by himself and almost loses, right? Surprise. But the movie decides to show us before that this random dude is missing half his leg. So in the middle of this fight, Jason decides to sweep him off his feet. If he ain't have that, Jason would have lost to one guy that looks like this. Do you know how tight I would have been if this is the dude that took me out? The ending though. He does what he needs to do. Emmy has him at gunpoint, has the chance to take him out, be the one to take out a beekeeper. And instead goes, goodbye, Adam Clay. And this man makes his move. And then he just scuba's away with him slowly going down into the water. Credits start rolling. I thought I was gonna feel better getting this shit off my chest, but it just reminded me of how much trash was involved in this movie. But overall, it was cool. The one thing that did make sense was how good Emmy was looking though. Yo.